guys, this is Rose from a Catholic Homeschooling Family, and it is November 8th, 4:48 p.m., and it is a Wednesday. As y'all can see, I have a baby now, a new baby boy. His name is Elias Ezequiel. He was born on, yesterday would have been my due date, November 7th, but he was born on Thursday, November 2nd, All Souls Day, so I thought that was pretty neat. And he was born at 12:42 p.m. in the afternoon, lunchtime. And he came out screaming and crying. I thought he was going to probably be my biggest crybaby, but I think maybe not. So he is 5 days old today. And we're very, very happy to have him with us. Like I said, I'm a little bit sleep deprived, but that's okay. What happened was, so I'd been having contractions for a while, for like maybe 2 weeks. Maybe a little bit more, but very sporadic. On and off, on and off. Very, very slowly getting closer together. Then when I went to the doctor at my 39-week appointment, I told him, I'm having contractions, I'm having a lot of pain. But nothing was picked up on the monitor. And so he's like, well, you're not really contracting. I was like, but I am. And he didn't want to believe me. And I was a 3 centimeter 60% effaced, and I was like, I didn't hardly progress at all. He's like, that's what I'm saying. And I was like, it doesn't, but I know what I know. I know I'm having contractions. He said, well, what do you want to do? I was like, no, because I said, what can I do to make this baby come? Because I am in pain, and I don't want to suffer anymore. It's not so much that I was in pain because of contractions, because I was, but that wasn't the major part of it. My back is damaged, and so I couldn't sleep. I was just walking around like a zombie. I think I had mentioned this to you guys earlier before, and I was in pain all the time, which I still am, but I'm just hoping that in a few more weeks, and my back should be better. Not 100% better, but better. And he's like, well, unless you want to induce. I was like, no, I don't want to induce. He's like, well, really, there's nothing else I can tell you. I was like, okay. And he said, but why don't you want to induce? Either way, I mean, you're going to have to get Pitocin. I was like, well, no, because I don't want Pitocin. That's the reason why I don't want to be induced. And he's like, but why? And I was like, because Pitocin makes the contraction much more painful. He's like, not really. That's what people think, but it's really not true. Because he's like, I've had women that have not had Pitocin, and they say it hurts, just as bad. I've had women that have had, Pitocin and not Pitocin, and they say that it's about the same. The difference is that because Pitocin brings on the contraction so fast, not gradual, you don't have the time to build the pain tolerance for it, basically. I was like, I guess. And he said, well, just keep in mind that no matter what, you're going to get Pitocin. And I was like, but why? He's like, this just the way it is. Like, it's like hospital rules or whatever. They don't want you laboring for too long. And I was like, okay. So I told him, no, I'm going to wait. Then the doctor left the room. I sat there and I thought, well, if I'm going to have Pitocin either way, and I'm in pain either way, right now, I'm in pain right now, and probably this baby's not going to come on his own anytime soon. I might as well just do it, I guess. And I was like, that was Halloween. Oh, no, I didn't make a Halloween video. That was on Halloween day. My 39th week was October 31st, Halloween Day, Tuesday. And so I was like, oh, tonight's Halloween. Tomorrow's the holy day of obligation. And I was like, okay, so the next day, November 2nd, All Souls Day. I was like, I guess that's a good day. So I told the nurse, because the doctor left to see another patient. I think I would like to get induced after all. This is like the first, well, it's the first baby where I kind of actually said I want to be induced. This baby. I did kind of want to be induced with my last baby. Then that's a whole nother story. I won't get into it. But anyways, and so I didn't know there was like this long process that had to be done before I got induced. And I had to go to the hospital several times to take paperwork, and it's like a whole thing. They had to like do lab work and stuff before. So and I did that all on November 1st, and then I went to Mass in the evening. I don't know if I would have wanted to do it on November 1st, if I would have been allowed to, because of all the prepping that took place beforehand. So I guess November 2nd was the very next available date, I guess. I don't even know how to say it, being that I needed that one day in between to get all my things squared away. And so I go in at 5:30 in the morning on November 2nd, and the doctor goes in about, so from 5:30 to 8:30, they had to do a whole lot of different types of monitoring. Well, I mean, I don't know how many there were, but it seemed like 2 or 3 different types of monitoring. They asked me a ton of questions. They got me connected to the IV, and at about 7:30 in the morning, they started the Pitocin. At 8:30 in the morning, about more or less, the doctor comes in to break my water. And then at that time when he came in to break my water, he's like, oh, you're going to have this baby fast. This is your 4th baby, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust my nursing pillow here. He's like, I think you'll have this baby by 12-ish. I was like, cool. So, for the most part, you're dealing with the nurses. And the nurses were telling me, yeah. I'm sorry, my husband called and he kicked off the recording. It was recording there when the call came in, and it like interrupted the recording. So let me continue where I left off. So the doctor, so I'm dealing with the nurses, right? And the nurses, yeah, he's always really accurate as far as how long the labor is going to take or whatever. And sure enough, this baby was born at 12:32. Oh, no. See, I forgot already. 12:42. And it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. The thing is that he came back around 12:15 or so. 12:20, 12, more or less. I don't exactly remember, right? Because I was kind of out of it. 12:15, 12:20, 12:25, more or less around that time frame. And he just was like doing rounds or whatever, checking on his other moms. And my nurse told him, hey, this girl's ready. She's at like a 9 centimeter. She's ready to push. She went to go tell him. And she said, stay around. We're going to get everything ready. We'll call you right now. Stay here. She tells the doctor, stay like in this general area. And so my doctor did not listen to her. He found a buddy doctor friend, and he started talking. He followed that doctor friend into one of the other doctor's patient's rooms, mommy's rooms. And so I started to push. The baby was coming out. The nurse started to deliver my baby. And she's telling the other assistant, go get the doctor, go get the doctor. And then they find him like, I don't know, shortly after the baby's head was crowning or whatever. He came in basically just to catch the baby. I was like, where were you, doctor? I can't believe you. He's like, I'm sorry, but I'm here now. It's like, I guess. So the baby was almost delivered by the nurse. The nurse was like, don't push. And she's just like standing there. Okay, the baby's coming. Everybody was in a panic. But the nurse that took care of me was actually really, really smart, really awesome, really nice. If she would have delivered the baby, I think she would have been able to do a great job at it. And so I hate being at the hospital with the brand new baby because I nurse. And so when I am in the room, in the, the recovery room or the, not the labor and delivery room, but like the other room, the patient room, I don't know how to call it. The one after the labor and delivery. When they send you over there. Like my brain, I'm sure there's a name. And I'm sure I probably know, I just can't think. And so then in that room, they're constantly coming in and checking on you and checking on the baby. And since I nurse, so it was like you're physically exhausted from labor, right? Luckily this was a short labor, but still, you're physically exhausted from labor and 9 months of pregnancy. And then you have a baby that you're trying to like find a rhythm with. And you keep getting your sleep interrupted by nursing baby, crying baby, cold baby. He was really cold, so he had a hard time falling asleep. They did put him under the warmer, but I don't know. It just seemed like he had a hard time warming up. And they check on the baby, they check on you. So pretty much for like 24 to 48 hours, however long it is that you're there, you're not going to get any sleep. And so I really, really, really wanted to leave. And I talked to my baby's pediatrician. I said, please, doctor, let my baby go home. And he's like, okay, well, we'll see tomorrow after the bilirubin test. I mean, if it's fine, you guys can go home. And I told my doctor, if my baby can go home, I want to go home too. He's like, okay, well, we'll see. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And so the next day, Friday, I don't know why. I guess maybe because it was Friday. I don't know. They were so backed up with work that they should have checked the bilirubin at 1. They didn't go in to check it, I think, until like 5. And I kept calling them. It's like, when are y'all going to come and do this thing? Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. We're backed up. When are you going to? And I kept calling them like, we're just super backed up. We have a lot of patients today. And finally they did it. And I think I was released about 6 or 6:30, more or less. We get home and I'm exhausted. I'm ready to like pass out. And I started to notice that, like I started to like really notice that when I would feed the baby, he would vomit and cry. And then what happened? And then I remembered that at the hospital, he actually did that. And it freaked me out. Not because he threw up, but because I fed him, I put him down to sleep, and then he started like gagging. And I thought he wasn't breathing. And then I called the nursery nurse and I was like, what's happening with this baby? She's like, oh no, it's okay. And then she got like one of those like aspirators, the little squishy ball with sucks. And she just like suctioned out his throat. She said, no, it's nothing. I was like, okay. So that happened at the hospital. And then I came home and I would feed him and then he would cry. I mean, he would vomit and then he would cry. And so that happened all night long. So that's a Friday night and then again on Saturday night. I was like, what the heck is happening with this baby? And I kind of figured it'd be reflux. I don't know if it's reflux, but I was thinking at the time, I think this baby has reflux. I think this baby has reflux. Because my oldest son had reflux. But I was a first-time mom, and it took me a long time to figure it out. Well, not to figure it out, but like, I thought it was normal. I thought babies cry, they get colic, and so I was a first-time mom. I didn't know what I was doing. Babies spit up, you hear that all the time. And so for those 2 nights or whatever, we stayed up pretty much all night. So I was incredibly sleep deprived. And we did have people come in, like guests come in and stuff, to see the baby or what have you. And so by Sunday night, we did still get up and go to church and everything on Sunday. But by Sunday night, it seemed to be getting a little bit better. But still, same thing. It seems like he's not crying as much as before. But he is still vomiting. So that was Sunday night, Monday night. Yesterday, I took him to the doctor and I told the doctor, what was going on. He's like, oh yeah, that definitely sounds like reflux. And so he gave me a referral. So I have to take him tomorrow at 8 in the morning for that referral, to get like I guess they're x-rays, of the UTI track or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, they're going to do that for him tomorrow at 8 in the morning. And he has to be fasting. So that's going to be a challenge. Since every time he eats, he throws up. And then he's crying and starving. It's very sad. With my first son, it actually got really bad. Like 2 or 3 times he got dehydrated. And then they'd have to admit him for like 2 days, 1 or 2 days, to like undehydrate him or whatever. They finally did put him on pills, which did work. I just hope it's not. Well, first of all, with him, I like I said, I took a lot longer to get him into the doctor. I think he was like a couple months old. Maybe like 6 to 8 weeks. I don't remember. And with this baby, he's only like, tomorrow he'll be 6 days old. So I hope that makes a big difference. But I feel bad for him. I feel sorry for him. But that's it. That's all that has been going on so far. We're very happy. We're excited to have this new baby in our life. And let me show him to you. He's got a lot of little, whatchamacallit, those little newborn baby rash. But he's so cute. He's really a really good baby. Besides, oh, you see how he got the hiccups now, I think. That's where he vomits, and then he's, where he eats and then he vomits, and then he either gets the hiccups, or he's been See, the thing is, he's been swallowing his vomit. That's why it took me a little while to really notice it at the hospital. It took me a couple of days to really catch on. Also being sleep deprived didn't help. And so we'll see what happens. We're going to take him to the doctor tomorrow in the morning, and hopefully it's not it. Well, I mean, I don't want to say I hope he has it, but I hope that if he has something, we can, discover it and treat him. Now, hopefully it's nothing. We'll see. And that's all, guys. I'd like to thank you for watching a Catholic Homeschooling Family. And God bless you. Bye-bye.